seems to be one of those days. It's sort of a comedy of errors, just one mistake after another, after another, after another. It's really rare for me to have so many things in a row that are just not going in my favor at accomplishing what I want to do. This morning I got up and I decided I was going to go to Park Güell, one of Gaudi's parks. And so I asked for directions from the hostel, went down to the metro, sort of took a couple of wrong turns getting to the metro, not too big of a deal. Bought my metro ticket and then I immediately ran it through the machine. But unfortunately, I got on the wrong direction on the metro and there was no real way to turn around easily at that particular station. So I had to ride 3 stations down, exit, get off to be able to turn around and go on a different line, on a purple line, to try to connect back to the green line. Well, when I got on the purple line, I also got on the wrong direction, so I had to go another 2 stops to get off to turn around on the purple line so that I could retract and go back the other direction for 6 stops to switch back to the green line to try to go the correct direction back to the park. So this couple just walked past behind me, as you saw there, and they're walking away now. I just asked them for some help because at this point I had gotten off at the correct stop in the metro to walk to the park and I couldn't find the park. And I'm walking and taking wrong turns, asking for help from people. And so they had directed me up onto this hill and now I'm sort of lost in these pathways on the hill. And so this couple just gave me some further directions to go this way until I see a fountain with some steps going up the side of the hill. So that's where I'm going next, but on top of all that, I have not slept well for 4 nights in a row in my hostel, and I think that that's taking its toll on me. I have bug bites all over my arms and legs and feet, and it's very painful, very uncomfortable, and I've just not slept well. So combining that, that's probably a big contributing factor to me making so many clumsy mistakes today and just not feeling up to doing much. But I've already purchased my tickets, already traveled out here, so I sort of want to push through and finish up. But I think after I finish this, it's all I'll have to do today, and I'll just probably want to rest and try to take it easy because I'm just so tired and so exhausted today. So anyway, the adventure continues. I'm going to push on and try to make it up this hill and find the park. This is a positive indicator. I found a sign here with Park Güell on it, and it lists all the different points, and so I know I'm at least headed in the correct direction. So I'm going to continue up this pathway that this couple just recently told me to proceed up, and I should enter into the top side of the park, and then I'll be going downhill from there. I'm not sure how I did it, but somehow I arrived at the back side, at the top of the hill of the park, at this entrance here. And I don't see a pay booth, so I'm guessing that maybe there's one zone or one part of the park that you pay to get into, and the rest of it must be free because there's no toll booth here, and I think that everyone would be coming in this way for free if you could enter the entire park for free. So I'm going to wander around and try to find the area where the Gaudi exhibits are and all the artwork and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be downhill from here because I'm at the top of the hill. Behind me is a bridge structure that you can walk with a pedestrian walkway across the top, or you can go down below where the columns, the support columns are, and walk below. And I think this is one of Gaudi's works. I'm not sure. I don't see any placards or indicators that have a name or an explanation of it. I asked somebody else here in Spanish, but they didn't know either. I always thought that yucca plants looked a little, I don't know, odd, a little strange. They look sort of like Dr. Seuss type material, and here you see them placed as a part of the structure for this bridge, and I think it's very appropriate because they look surreal. They look like something from a different planet, and the structure here, the architectural style, definitely looks like it's something from another planet. I found a map that indicates where I am right now. You are here. And it appears that you can go on this walkway here, past this pink large building, and walk along this little raised platform around the back side of the park and see most everything that's inside the park from the platform. So I'm going to try that first and see how much I can see, and then I'll decide if I want to pay the entry fee to enter into the actual zone, or if I can see enough of it from the platform that goes around the perimeter to avoid going in. So I'm going to go walk down this direction and see if I can get to this back platform area. There are several of these pedestrian walkway bridges that go through the park area, and they all have a unique sort of organic style to them with I don't know, looking like tissue and bones and structure, but obviously made out of rock. So it's really quite artistic and interesting here, and I guess that's one of the attractions to this park. Pink building, which happens to be a museum. This is Casa Museo Gaudi. It's the house museum of Gaudi. And I don't know, to me this does not look as much of a Gaudi style design. It looks more like standard Spanish style, except for maybe the oval windows or some of the rounded edges. But I'm not going to pay to go see what's inside of here. I'll just continue on. To my right is a large platform viewing area with some support columns, and looks like the columns that I've seen in some of Gaudi's other works, and the broken tile type structures along the top for the railing and the sitting areas that go along the perimeter of this overlook area. You can see this wall behind me has more of this interesting decoration there. I don't know, it looks to me like skulls, or I don't know, again, sort of tissue. It looks like internal organs and things like that. This is a view from the other side of the tile work, the broken tiles and the rounded edges and the seating structures that you can see, and the pillars down below. It's a very nice view from this particular angle. This is the tickets office back here. It looks like the general entry ticket is €8 to get in. That's about $8. I think I'm probably going to skip it. I'm going to go see a little bit more and then make a decision. Like the main street that goes in front of the gates to the front of the park, or at least the monument area of the park, with the interesting structures, the roofs that sort of look like cones from, again, Dr. Seuss or Willy Wonka, with sort of a strange kind of a cross on the very top of the tall checkers dome, or checker spire. I'm going to wander down that direction. Across the street from the main wall of the entryway, you get a really good view of the broken tile structure with the rounded cap stone on the wall. And I guess there's some words written here. I can't read whatever that is. Maybe Guell, I guess that's a G-U with umlaut E-L-L, Guell. And then you can see the little gate structures, the guardhouses, I guess, with the spires on it from here. The most interesting thing that I've seen is this entry gate area. You have these very interesting, like, guardhouses on both sides of the gate, with the fascinating roof with the broken tile structure and the very organic kind of feel with the sort of, I don't know what you would call that, a cone or a spire that looks almost like intestinal, with a strange cross on the top with 6 arms to the cross. And then over on this other side, almost looks like a spinal type structure, maybe from a starfish or something like that from aquatic. Well, I think if I would have done it correctly, this would have been the way to come here. The L3, the green line, is 1,220 meters that direction from here. So if you map it out or learn how to do it in advance, you can go directly from the L3 metro up to this entry point instead of coming in the backside like I did. Unless you want to go and sort of follow the route that I did, which I think it's probably a little bit better to start here and then either go to the right or the left of the entry gate and walk up and do it for free, and then you can decide if you want to pay to go in or not. Finished up here at Park Güell. I am going to head back to my hostel, taking the metro, and then look for some lunch, and then I'm going to try to get some sleep this afternoon. I really need to get some rest. I just have not been sleeping well the last few nights, and I think it's taking its toll on me. Here you can see a model of what it actually looks like inside of the Park Gaudi, and the famous lizard and the steps that you just saw. That's all I have for this episode. Remember, savor the moment, be happy, pursue your passions. I'll see you next episode.